everyone, I'm Mind, and this is set number 80054, Megapolis City 5th Anniversary from the LEGO Monkie Kid theme. This set contains 2,330 pieces, 14 minifigures, and will retail for $189.99 in the US. This set does not officially release until January 1st, 2024, but it was gifted to me early by the LEGO group through the LEGO Master Network, but all opinions expressed in this video are my own. This set's really cool in that it can combine with two of the previous LEGO Monkie Kid sets. Since this set's so big, and I'm sure the review's already going to be somewhat long, I'm not going to be doing that in this video. However, if you're interested in seeing all three of these sets combined, I'll make a separate video doing that, so just make sure to leave a like on this video so that I know that you're interested, and subscribe to my channel so you can see when it's posted. But now, with that being said, let's get into the review. So here is Megapolis, and this set is really cool. There's so much to unpack here, so many different references to LEGO's history and also to Monkie Kid and also just Journey to the West. And I'm gonna try to point out like everything I can in this video, but I'm sure there's gonna be stuff that even I don't notice. So if you notice anything that I don't point out, please let me know in the comments. But anyway, yeah, this is a 5th anniversary set for LEGO Monkie Kid, which might sound a little bit strange if you've been following Monkie Kid for a while because this is 3.5 years since the first wave. But from my understanding, the reason it's the 5th anniversary is just because that's how they count things in China. The first year is considered year 1 and not year 0. And then I also believe that number goes up every Lunar New Year, not necessarily on like the anniversary, the birthday of that thing. So for example, for the Monkie Kid theme, this is technically its 5th year, so that's why this is the 5th anniversary set. If I got any of that wrong, feel free to correct me in the comments, but I'm pretty sure that's why this is like it is. But anyway, yeah, it's a 5th anniversary set, so it's celebrating the entire Monkie Kid theme. And the idea behind this one is that all the characters are celebrating too. So it's this really interesting thing where it's got the Monkie Kid characters, but also the villains from the theme, and they're sort of just celebrating together. So my absolute favorite part about this set is that we get to see some of the villains in a new context, because they're not like doing evil, rather they each just have their own little shops in the city, and we will go through each of them one by one. Tons of exclusive minifigures in this set too. I'm pretty sure like almost every minifigure is exclusive, if not all of them. Yeah, I'm looking now, I don't think there's any that aren't exclusive. Some do reuse some parts, but I believe everyone has at least one new part. And then one last thing before we move up close is that this entire set is modular, meaning you can rearrange it however you want. Each individual section of this build is built separately and can be removed, so I can remove this Ferris wheel right here, and if I wanted to, I can remove these shops down here as well, and then swap their places around. That was actually a bad example because this sign gets in the way of putting the Ferris wheel right here. But you could see I was able to move those shops up top if I wanted. And those are not the only parts of the set that can come apart. So I'll try to point out all the different things that can come apart as we go through this video, and you can rearrange them however you want. But I'll be sticking to the default layout for most of this video just because it's easier to get through it all. So now, with all that being said, let me take a look at this set up a little bit closer so you can see all the individual details and secrets and just everything to this build. Okay, so I'm of course going to be starting on the bottom level of the build on the right side. And you can see it's just basic street level stuff going on right here. Stairs get up to the upper level, there's these boxes that come in actually quite a few sets, and of course it is a Monkie Kid set, so there is Pigsy's noodles lying all over the place. So here's a little box for them that uses a printed tile. I don't believe that printed tile is new, I'm pretty sure it's the same one that's come in many other sets before, but still of course always nice to get and makes sense in this set. But then when we get up the stairs, this is where we start to get to the really interesting stuff. As I mentioned, there's shops for lots of the different villains in this set, and this is our first one. This is of course for the 3 demons from season 4 of Monkie Kid, the golden winged eagle, the yellow tusk elephant, and the azure lion. And unfortunately they don't get actual minifigures in this set, but they are still referenced here in these like very cute versions of their faces, which I absolutely love. But anyway, their shop is like a little gacha arcade. You can see there's this machine out front that sort of looks like a gumball machine. And yeah, the idea is basically the same. You'd have a character put a coin in here, turn this thing, and one of these studs inside would fall out. You can see there's a sticker on the door that represents that idea as well, and if we move inside, you can see inside there's 2 more of the machines, which once again just have studs inside. That one has a lime green stud, and that one has a purple stud, but on top is just a standard LEGO Nano figure to be like an action figure or something. And if we flip around to the other side, you can see there's a sticker on this wall, and it shows you the different prizes you can get. For 1 coin, you can get a single stud. For 3 coins, you can get that nano figure. And for 5 coins, you get a mystery item, which looks to be a peach. On the outside of the building, there's another sticker, which looks to be of like a poster. And this seems to be advertising the City of Lanterns, which of course was one of the previous Monkie Kid City sets. And then there's also a little plant pot out the side right here, and if we turn that to the side, you can see there's yet another sticker, which says something about the peach. I'm not sure if it's anything like specific, but then it's also got a picture of the Monkie Kid boat from the first wave, which that's pretty cool to see that called back too. And then finally on top of the building, there's another stickered part, and that's just got like a happy smiling like Gacha character, who I assume is probably meant to be the mascot of this place. A very cute little part of the build, however, it's also probably one of my least favorite parts of this entire set. And that's not because it's bad by any means, but that's because there's a lot more exciting stuff later on. So now let's move on to the next 2 buildings, which are right next to it. We have the Jade shop and the record store. So the Jade store is run by the new character of Nuwa. I apologize for pronouncing that wrong, she's not appeared in the show yet, and I'm not super familiar with her backstory. But yeah, there's very little I know about her. When I interviewed the Monkey Kid design team, they told me that this character in this shop is a hint towards Monkey Kid Season 5. Now, slight spoilers for Season 4, like skip ahead 10-20 seconds if you don't want to hear this. But of course, Season 4 ends up with there being no more Jade Emperor, so given that this is a new character running a Jade shop, I think she may become the new Jade Emperor. Anyway, you can see her shop is both Jade themed, but also snake themed. There's like a wanted poster for a Medusa-like character on the side, and then like the 2012 Ninjago snake pieces in these clear tubes, which makes for a very cool look. I love that technique. Very nice sticker design on the windows too, and of course these doors open up. And also I guess I'll point out in the sticker there's a little bit of graffiti right here, and that's of course because Macaque's in the set, and I'll take a closer look at him when I look at the rest of the minifigures, but his role in this set is as a graffiti artist, so you'll see little things from Macaque all over the build. Inside of the Jade shop, well, you got a table selling some Jade items. Just a trans green 2x2 brick that's pretty cool to get, as well as a tile and a cheese slope. The table attaches to these two jumper pieces, and then there's also two places to attach minifigures, one on each side of the table. It is pretty cramped in there, but I think it's good enough for what they're going for. It's definitely a very pretty shop, even if there's not a ton inside. We do have a little stickered calendar piece on the wall, though, which the reference there does escape me, so if anybody knows, feel free to point it out in the comments. But yeah, very pretty shop all around, but now let's move up to the upper level, which is a record store, and this might be my favorite one in this set. I don't know, there's a lot I like, but this one's really good. So yeah, this is of course a record store run by Yin and Jin, the Gold and Silver Horn Demons. Some of my favorite characters in Monkey Kid. I think they're probably fan favorites. A lot of people love them. They've only come in one set ever, so I'm really happy to see them here again. And I think a record store just fits them perfectly. There's a little sign out the front, and then of course they have two giant speakers for their sign, but one is blue and silver and the other is gold and orange. And then the walls of the actual building match their colors too. We got orange, we got blue, and these are completely open so you can see inside. Inside you can see there's two record players, and these record pieces are printed. I don't believe they're new for this set, but it is still very nice to get two of them here. And then there's also some records for sale in the back, and each of these are all new exclusive stickered pieces, and they are each referencing different things. So for example, that's the LEGO Ideas Jazz Band set. This one I saw people saying it might be referencing the Nirvana Nevermind album cover. I'm not entirely convinced on that, like it does look similar, but it's not entirely the same. So if anybody has any other ideas what this might be referencing, please let me know in the comments. And then the other two I'm completely lost on. No clue what this is, and I have no clue what this one up here is either. And then finally on the roof of the record store, there's actually a little bit of natural terrain. You can see there's some grass, some mountains, and some leaves coming off. A bit strange, but I mean, hey, it's a place to post figures if you want. But you can see there's also a giant record player up here, which uses a crowbar piece, and the record itself has both gold and silver on it, which is a really cool touch. Very cute store that fits these characters perfectly. I really love this one. Beneath those builds, by the way, there's a couple things going on. For one, we just have a classic red mug, I guess, to be an accessory for you to use if you want. But then we have a place to keep some black Technic pins. If you want to rearrange the set, connect it with other sets, it gives you extra Technic pins to do so. The City of Lanterns did a very similar thing, I believe, so it's cool to see that continue. And now coming back to the main build, a transition starts to happen. You can see these clouds sort of come in. The clouds are a big part of Monkey Kid's identity. It has been since the beginning of the theme. And then we have this classic space elevator, which is built sort of on an angle, which is pretty cool. Helps break up the city, makes it feel a lot less grid-like. And then you can see the section next to it sticks out a little bit more, and that's because this isn't actually attached. This sort of just slides in the side, but it's meant to be very easily removed. So I am going to remove that for now while we take a look at the space elevator. So the classic space elevator is really cool. It uses all these shreds yellow pieces, which is just so neat, because that's a color we really don't see LEGO use all too often, and especially so prominently too, so it definitely like harkens back to classic space. And you can see at the entrance, you got Monkey Kid's symbol right here. Here we have a callback to the LEGO figures before minifigures. Also, I believe this is an only recolor for these slope pieces. There's stickers on the side of the elevator that just say what level it's on, and the text, again, very reminiscent of classic space. Up here, this sticker depicts the fight between the Monkey King Warrior Mech and Lady Bone Demon. And then there's an advertisement for the Dragon Bite game, which I believe was an arcade cabinet in one of the previous Monkey Kid sets. And then at the top of the elevator, we have the Classic Space logo. There's a platform right here where you can stand minifigures. And then this is what you turn to move the elevator up and down. Which, yes, the elevator does actually move. You see, I turn it up there and this moves up. And there you go, you can see the piece that's used to move it up and down. And just like all the other sections, the elevator can actually be removed, even though it is on an angle. So here's a look at it separated, and there's it going all the way up to the top. There is nowhere to get off on the second level, but there is doorways on the third level. And of course, yes, you can stand a minifigure in here, they fit in here just fine. And the elevator is able to go up with the minifigure on it. Classic Spaceman on the sticker right there too. On the back of the elevator, you can see there's an air conditioning unit with a picture of Lady Iron Fan on it. And that's because, of course, even though she's not in this set, they want a reference to what she would be doing if she was. So she's on an air conditioning unit, because she's Lady Iron Fan, she's all about fans, so she sells air conditioning, essentially providing fans for all the people in the city. That's such a funny idea, but I absolutely love it. Such Such a cute little inclusion. So I think this build's very functional, very fun, and there's a lot of cool parts used. However, I will admit it does feel a little out of place in this set. Don't get me wrong, I love the classic space aesthetic, and there's a lot of really cool references to LEGO's history here, but it feels like it's maybe leaning a little too heavy into the reference. I think in a different set it maybe could have fit better, but when all the other buildings are specifically calling back to things from Monkie Kid, these colors just don't really feel like they mesh. So I do like this build, I just don't know if this set's the best place for it. That being said, all of this is modular, so if you want to replace this with one of the buildings from the other Monkie Kid sets, you very much could, and it is LEGO, you can always modify the elevator. I think elevator as a concept, though, is just a very fun play feature. I know I always wanted one as a kid, so play feature and everything is great. I just feel like aesthetically it clashes with some of the rest of the set. Now, before moving on to the next section, a few things I want to point out right here. On this sign, we have a character playing with a dog. I'm not sure if that's referencing anything in particular. I might be forgetting something, but this is on like a little telephone pole, which is actually a really nice build. We also have an octane gas tank right here in the alleyway. But the coolest reference right here is actually completely hidden. Like, it is built into the base of the build. You have to take it apart to see it. And if you watch my video where I got to see this set early, you will have heard me already mention this, but there's actually a Bionicle mask built into the base of the build. Now, it's not what I expected it to be, because I was expecting it to be like a brick-built mask in here, and it was just hidden away. But no, it's actually a lot cooler than that. So let's take these pieces off. And there you go, you can see it right there. This is a sticker tile that's straight up just a Bionicle mask. Now what's very interesting about this is in the same style as the Tahoe gift with purchase from this year. Now obviously that was a print, this is a sticker, but I think LEGO's intent here is that you can use this to make more custom Bionicles in the LEGO just like system. Obviously CCBS isn't around anymore, but we got the one Tahoe set, so maybe this is going to be a new thing they start doing, like hiding these in more sets, and this is just the first one outside of the Tahoe. And I think that's actually a really cool idea. Obviously it would be better if it was printed just like the Tahoe was printed, but you know what, this is better than nothing. They're giving the Bionicle fandom something to stay alive. And taking this out of the set literally does not affect the set at all, because this is not visible unless you take the set apart. Like, it's specifically included to remove so you can put it elsewhere. I think that's very, very neat, and I'm looking forward to seeing what the Bionicle community comes up with. And I'm also curious to see if other sets are going to include things like this as well. And I think that's all I have to show you on the lower level on this side. So now let me reattach the other part of the build, or I guess temporarily reattached. I am going to detach it again so we can take a look at it. So now we can see the rest of the bottom level of the city. So we have three main buildings here. We have like the shrine gazebo for Monkey King, and then the shops for Lady Bone Demon and the Spider Queen. Starting with the building side, obviously you can see this is the part that's like really in the clouds. And this is meant to be a little shrine for Monkey King to give an opera performance, and it ties in with like the new makeup face print that he has in this set. There's some Chinese characters written on the side, which as always I cannot read, but if you would like to translate for yourself, feel free. And this section does detach from the rest if you want to display it on its own. The roof of the shrine, by the way, is an all new LEGO color. This is like a reddish orange. So comparing it like to the shoe build right here, this is LEGO's old standard orange, and this is the new reddish orange. And Monkey King's hairpiece here is like the old dark orange. So this is an entirely new shade, which honestly I'm really looking forward to seeing where else it's used. I always love when we get new LEGO colors, and this one is a great addition. Here's a look at the interior here. There's two jumper plates to display minifigures. And also this fence piece is all new for this year. This also comes in one of the Lunar New Year sets. But it's similar to like the old fence piece from Ninjago, but a little bit different. So that way they're compatible with each other, but also uniquely their own thing. And I think that's a really smart decision. This new part looks amazing, and I can't wait to see where else it's going to be used. But now moving back to these buildings, you can see there's a little alleyway or walkway around the side right here. And there's a few things going on. For one, there's that shoe that I mentioned, and that's a reference to actually the Monkey Kid show, the very first special. There's this whole thing where Demon Bull King and Red Sun go to get new shoes. I honestly kind of forget at this point, but it's a really iconic frame from the show of them, like, with their shoes. And this is an advertisement for that shoe shop, which is a really cool callback. And it's nice to see them calling back to the show specifically too, not just the sets. Then below that, we have a LEGO vending machine, which we have gotten these in sets before, but they're always really neat to get. There's a canister at the top, which I believe people thought was a Bionicle canister, but actually it's a reference to something else. I apologize, my early 2000s LEGO knowledge is not super big because I was a baby at the time. Late 2000s is when I start coming in. But then you can also see there's a stickered piece of a Monkey Kid set, and that's the Monkey Kid Cloud Airship from earlier this year. I think that's the name of the set, the like sandy hot air balloon set. Very cool to get a tiny version of that, and this machine is easily removable as well if you want to display it somewhere else in your LEGO collection. That's of course a sticker piece in there, same thing with the LEGO logo around the side. Then around front we have a golden frog, because of course LEGO frogs come in every set. There's also a banner with Changa on it, who's of course another character who's not in this set, but they're still calling back to her here. More boxes, and then more steps that lead to this upper level. On this upper level we have the Spider Queen shop, and if you saw my video about my like early hands-on look, I was actually wrong about this one. I just misremembered. I apologize for that. But I said that she was like a private investigator. That's wrong. She actually runs a textile shop, which makes a lot more sense, because she's the Spider Queen. She makes spiderweb, she makes silk, right? So now that's her full-time job, making clothing and textiles. You can see there's a stickered piece in there that calls back to her Spider Walker from season 2, and there's the multiple different colors of fabric underneath. Beneath the Spider Queen shop, by the way, there's this sticker map piece, and removing it, you can see it's the map from Monkey Kid Season 3 where they were going to look for the fire rings. This came in many of the sets that wave, however, this one's a little bit different, because of course Season 3 of Monkey Kid's now over, so all 3 locations are now checked off on the map. It's a small thing, but I do really appreciate this inclusion. It's just super cute. A nice little nod to some of the earlier waves. Then above that is Lady Bone Demon's shop, which is probably my second favorite or favorite. I don't know if I prefer this or the record shop, but I love the aesthetic of this. I love the concept behind this. But before we get to that, you can see there's another like sign advertisement right here, and this one has a picture of the Dragon of the East on it, and it looks like he's selling either tea or hot chocolate or something. But now, Lady Bone Demon's shop, you can see she has her symbol right here, but then also just a classic LEGO skeleton face, which is so cute. I especially love how they even include the stud at the top. And this, I believe, is the same lettering that was on her mech. But then when we turn around inside, Lady Bone Demon, like the most evil character ever in Monkey Kid in the show, has become a chiropractor, which is just such a funny idea. Because of course, she's a Lady Bone Demon. She's all about bones, right? She's a skeletal character. So now instead of being evil, she helps fix people's bones instead, which is such a silly and creative concept. I absolutely love that. We also have a classic LEGO skeleton in here as well as 2 knives. And then there's a stickered poster on the wall that's advertising acupuncture for minifigures. This shop though looks gorgeous from the front and the inside's so much fun. The more I think about it, I think I like this one more than the record shop. And then finally, one last little thing on the side right here, you can see there's the sign with a Red Sun symbol on it. And you can see here he's got a tiny little barbecue stand. I think barbecue for Red Sun makes a lot of sense because of course fire, right? He's barbecuing things himself. That being said, I would have liked to see something maybe a little bit bigger for Red Sun considering he was the first villain in the show and he was like relevant for multiple seasons. So it would have been cool if he had like a whole barbecue shop, but I'm glad he at least had something included. And he does get a minifigure in this set at the very least. Anyway, on top of Lady Bone Demon's shop, you can see we have another box of Pigsy's noodles. Once again, a printed part, though this is the wooden one from earlier this year. It's cool to see they included both versions in this set. And then we have stairs here that lead to the upper level. So now let's properly move to the upper level of this build. First of all, coming off the space elevator, we have this tree right here. And it is built into the space elevator, but is up on the upper level, so that's why I waited to cover it till now. But this is of course a peach tree, and we've seen many peach trees in many Monkey Kid sets. The peaches are pretty prominent in the imagery of Monkey Kid, because of course they're also important to the Monkey King legend. But the cool thing about this peach tree is that it has an all-new peach piece for this year, because the peaches are no longer a printed part, they're a molded part instead, somewhat similar to like the classic LEGO apple piece. This is not the only set these come in, they also come in one of the Lunar New Year sets, but they are a really cool part. You can have a minifigure hold on to the top of them right here, or attach a leaf piece right there. Regardless, they're a great new part to get, and I think they're an amazing celebration of 5 years of LEGO Monkey Kid. I've also seen people mention these will fit perfectly for LEGO Animal Crossing, and yeah, I agree. But it's awesome to get them here, and you get quite a few in this set. I count 6 total, but there might be more than that. Anyway, then coming properly to the upper level, here's the first section right here, and this is like a little book signing for Tang. You can see he's got a little sign advertising the fact that he's Monkey Kid's BFF, and there's the stickered book that's actually meant to be Tang's book. And if you open it inside, I believe that's meant to be a signature, and he even put a little smiley face right there. Next to that is Pigsy's shop, and you can see Monkey Kid has graffitied on the wall right here. But Pigsy's shop is similar to other ones that he's had in other sets of the past. However, now Pigsy's shop has become a duck shop, and as such, it has the classic LEGO duck at the top. Again, another classic LEGO reference. I mean, very classic, even before LEGO was doing building bricks. But I think it fits it really well because it makes sense for Pigsy to have a duck shop, so it works perfectly as like a mascot. They do just use the standard like turkey or chicken piece to be the duck, but you can see inside you do get that full part. Inside we have a sticker which looks to be a framed photo of Pigsy as well as a ribbon that he's won, showing that he is #1. And then up above that on top of the building we have this giant Monkey King staff. Now before I get to that, I do have to show one little thing behind the duck right here. Hidden behind the duck is like this hand-drawn sticker of Monkey Kid defeating the Demon Bull King, and I believe that's a callback to the original Monkey Kid special. Again, my memory's a little bit shaky because it's been a while since I watched it, but I think Monkey Kid draws that to show like how he's going to beat the Demon Bull King, which if so, again, very cool callback to the show. I'm glad they're doing things like that. But then we come up this staff, and it is a pretty standard staff build similar to things we've gotten before, and then there's this really cool golden foil piece that goes all the way down. Which, I'm gonna be honest, the first few Monkey Kid sets that I got that had these foil pieces, I wasn't sure how to feel about them. Like, they were cool looking, but it just didn't feel like LEGO to me. But now that some time has passed, I feel like they've really become a part of Monkey Kid's identity, especially when they're used sparsely like this. This just adds like a nice little bit of extra something to this build and helps it feel extra special. But yeah, then we have an antenna on the top, and it's topped off by a red light right here. Coming back down from that, next to Pigsy's shop, we have a little arcade machine right here, and this one's actually a claw machine, and you can see the title of it is Time Claw. This is of course a callback and a reference to the LEGO Time Cruisers theme, and inside of the machine there's prizes which are references to different periods in time. If I crack this open, you can see there's a purple pirate hat, which I believe is not a new part, however it was introduced with the LEGO Botanical line, so it's never actually been used before as a pirate hat in this color to my knowledge, so that's cool to get it in a different context, in a different set. Then we just have a constructor worker helmet, pretty standard, nothing too interesting there. But then something I know a lot of people will be excited for is a green classic space helmet, because we got the green classic space torso all the way back in 2014, I want to say, maybe 2015, in the Exosuit set, but That one just used the green biker helmet, and we haven't got like the proper green classic space helmet ever. So thanks to this set, we now have this part. Now, as of me recording this video, this is the only set that this part comes in. However, I would not be surprised if it comes in other sets in the future, because like, for example, the purple space helmet came out last year, and that started out in only one set, but then came in a few more. So if you're a huge fan of classic space, but not a fan of Monkie Kid, I don't think you need to rush to get this set. I would wait and see if this comes anywhere else, because now that it's being produced, they could very easily slot it into other sets. There's a chance it remains exclusive, but also a pretty good chance that it doesn't. And in case it's not obvious, no, the claw machine does not actually work. You do have to tear it open to get the prizes inside, but it looks cool from the outside, and there's some really cool parts in there. And then, of course, finally for the main build of this set, we have the giant Ferris wheel right here. In case it's not clear, this is themed around Ninjago, who's another character who's not included in this set, but it's a very big and obvious reference to him. He's all about rings, so this is a giant ring that's been turned into a Ferris wheel. And I think this is really great. Ferris wheels are just a fun toy in general for kids and adults alike. Like, come on, how could you not love putting minifigures on this and spinning it around? I think the Ninja theming works, and I think it also just works as a celebration, right? It's something fun for your minifigures to do. That's, of course, a stickered part in the middle, as well as a stickered part down here to be a warning. Oh, and I guess I didn't point this out yet, but we have stickers of the 5 main members of the Monkie Kid cast down here. Around the back of the build, it is pretty barren, but there is a few more things to see. For one, we got 3 stickers, and I believe that's the Jade Emperor right there, and he's shooting a blast that goes across these 3 beams. We have more graffiti from Macaque. You can see that's a 6-eared monkey, as well as graffiti from MK. And then here we have a super cute advertisement for Fabuland. And there we go, that is the entirety of the build of the Monkie Kid Megapolis set, though of course we still have many more minifigures to get to. But overall, I quite like this build. My favorite thing is definitely the fact that it's referencing Monkie Kid's history so much, and truly just celebrating it, and I love the idea of all the villains just owning shops and being regular people. That being said, comparing this to like the City of Lanterns, I do think the layout of that set's a little more interesting. This one does maybe feel a little bit boxy. I would have liked maybe some rounder edges. That being said, it is modular and customizable and is meant to fit with those other sets, so I get why it is the way it is. So I'd say if you're just like a general LEGO fan and don't care specifically about Monkie Kid, but you just like the idea of the cities, that set's probably better. But if you're a huge fan of LEGO Monkie Kid, this set's probably better because it's just a celebration of the theme overall. If you like Monkie Kid but you've never bought a set before, this might be a good set just to be your one and only set ever. Because yes, it's expensive, but you get pretty much everything you need here. You get all the main characters and a bunch of villains, even if they're not in their villain outfits. I'm getting a little ahead of myself though, I'll talk about that more at the end of this video. For now, let's take a look at the minifigures that come in this set. So here are the first 3 minifigures in this set. We of course have an all-new version of Monkie Kid, an all-new version of May, and then Monkey King on the end right here. Monkey Kid has a really cool new outfit to celebrate 5 years of the theme. You can see of course there's the number 5 on a little patch right there, but beyond that, if you look at that torso print up a little bit closer, he has elements of all the different members from his party. So for example, the peach is to represent Monkey King, you got Pigsy symbol up there. The glasses I assume are meant to be Tang. That little wave right there is possibly Sandy, and I'm not sure exactly where May comes in, but I'm pretty sure she's in here somewhere. But regardless, it's a really cool new torso print. As of the time of me recording this video, I'm not sure if this torso is going to come in any other sets, but I will say it's a very nice one to get here. And I like how it buttons up in the center too. That's a different look for Monkey Kid I don't think we've seen before. You can see his accessory too. He's got this giant flag with a 5 on it, of course, again to celebrate 5 years of Monkey Kid. And then the leg piece I believe is from some of the previous waves. It's still molded in black and red, and it does look nice. I feel like it fits with everything. And of course, he's just got the classic staff on the back. Now this is the original staff from the first few waves of Monkey Kid. It's not like the updated version we got last year, which is a little disappointing to see, but it also makes sense because that was a part of a bigger parts pack, and the rest of those parts aren't used in this set. Here's the back of his torso where once again he's got like that Monkey King face symbol, but now it's got a 5 in the center. I like the overall like color block design too. That's very neat, especially like with the 2 different colored arms and everything. The face print here I'm pretty sure is new. I don't recognize this winking face from anywhere. And the alternate face I'm not sure about. I don't think that's new. I think that is reused from one of the previous Monkey Kids, though I'm not 100% on that. So if anybody knows, feel free to let me know in the comments. Very cool new variant overall, probably one of the best figures in this set. May here looks good. She's nothing all too crazy, not like as detailed as the Monkey Kid figure, but I still like the design here. Very just like elegant design for her robes. I like the transition from the torso into the legs with like that green pattern. And the bright green for the legs is a very fun color, which of course fits May really well. You've got sort of like this dragon yin yang symbol around the back too, and then she just has her standard head and hair piece. I will say I would have liked to get a new face print for May here, because she doesn't get new face prints all too often. I think she's only had 2 faces total. And considering that she's like the secondary main character after Monkey Kid, it would have been nice to get another variant. But I suppose it's not the biggest deal, and this face does still fit her. There's a look at the alternate face on her too. Don't have a ton to say about this one, but yeah, I mean, it's a good figure. I'm happy we have it. And then Monkey King on the end is only kind of new. The torso, the tail, and the legs all came on the Monkey King figure that we got last year, but this is an all-new face print for him. And this is of course Monkey King with makeup on his face for when he's giving an opera performance, which really does fit perfectly in this set. Pretty standard face on the alternate side though, still has those golden eyes, but that new expression is really unique. I'm quite happy to get that. He also comes with a staff as an accessory. It's a little bit smaller than the one that Monkey Kid carries. But overall, I think all 3 of these are really good figures. Monkey Kid's obviously the best of the 3, but I think these are all great new variants to celebrate 5 years of the theme. theme. Here are the next 3 figures in the set, the rest of the main MK crew. We have Pigsy, Sandy, and Tang. Again, I believe these are all new variants, and starting with Pigsy, I'm not crazy about this one. It doesn't look bad, but it just doesn't pop as much to me as some of the others. The gold and red striped shirt's interesting, at least. That's not often I see a shirt with gold on it, and I do like the little pig emblem that he has. But I don't know, the lighter blue and the pink just doesn't work the best in my opinion. Good design for the torso, don't get me wrong. I just don't know if it was the best outfit to put Pigsy in. Other than that though, it's just the same standard face he's had since the beginning, and then just plain dark blue mid-legs. Sandy though I love, this is an amazing minifigure. Clearly they're still sticking with the minifigure version of Sandy and not the big fig, which while I do love the big fig, this gives them a lot more options for like more outfits for Sandy. And this one in particular did turn out really great. You can see he's got like a red vest on, and I think the red and the blue work really well together. But the vest is not like over top of anything, so you can see like his abs down there, which is super funny. And then he just uses like the Ninjago Young Woo legs, which is a little bit lame, would have preferred new legs there, but hey, it's not that big a deal I guess. Tang and Pigsy have no leg printing at all, so the fact that Sandy has anything is something. Around the back of Sandy's vest, there's a silver symbol which you can see depicts like his weapon from season 4 of Monkie Kid, as well as what looks like a steering wheel I guess to represent his ship. And in his hand as an accessory he comes with Kitten Mo, which is one of my favorite Monkie Kid pieces. It's absolutely adorable. I forget how many sets that's coming, it might only be 1 previously, maybe 2, but very cool to get that again. I do like the original like full-size version of Mo, but the Kitten Mo is very cute. And then taking the beard piece off, you can see Sandy's full face print as well as his full torso print. Seeing his full torso print again, it looks amazing. You can see he's got like a magenta bead necklace on like he had on his big fig. Cool to see that harken back to here. But my favorite part has to be this little pin on his pocket right there. And that's just a tiny version of Mo with sunglasses on, and that's absolutely adorable. Fits this guy so well. By the way, this is an all-new face print for Sandy, which is very interesting, not something I was expecting. Because with the beard on, it looks basically the same, but with it off, it definitely looks better. Previously, he had like a full printed beard, but now he's just got like a little bit of stubble around, and then a big bushy mustache. I think this actually looks significantly better. The old Sandy figure looked a little bit goofy with the beard off. This one obviously looks best with the beard on still, but if you're making like an original character or something, this is actually a pretty good face print. Overall, this one's probably one of my favorite minifigures in the set. And then on the end here, we have a new version of Tang, and I think this one also looks really good. No leg printing, which is unfortunate because the torso feels like it cuts off a little bit abruptly, but the torso is a really nice design. It looks like a very just like fluffy, nice coat, and I love all the red, gold, and silver detailing on it. You can see in terms of accessory, it comes with like this pen to sign the books for his book signing. And then of course he has the red scarf piece around the back, and his face print's the same one that we got in the 2023 sets. Here's a full look at the front of the torso print with the scarf removed, as well as a full look at the back of the torso print. But now moving on to the next 3 minifigures, we start getting into some of the villains. And these, as I said at the beginning, are some of my favorite figures in the set. Because while like the new versions of the main characters are cool to get, they're not too different from stuff we've gotten before. Like yeah, it's a new outfit for Sandy, but it is still Sandy at the end of the day. These though, these are really neat because these are characters in a context we've never seen them before. You're turning these like wild crazy villains into just regular citizens. So of course here we have Red Sun, the Spider Queen, and Lady Bone Demon. Starting with Red Sun, he's probably the least interesting of the bunch because he does have a pretty standard design. He just has a tank top on which does fit his character, and of course with the whole like barbecue theme. And you can see he comes with like this little fire blaster accessory. The hairpiece I believe is the same exact one that came in previous sets, and I do really love this like fiery design on the back of his torso. There's a nice nod to the Demon Bull King on his necklace too, and I do believe this is an all-new face print for Red Sun, which that's probably the absolute best part of this figure, because I don't think we've ever really seen him in this context before. All of his expressions have been like super evil or super angry, but no, this is him just like very excited and happy, and I like how his little glasses are coming down over his nose. He does have an alternate face too, where his glasses are completely removed and he's just like scared and shocked. So expressive and full of personality, really fits the Monkie Kid theme and really fits this character. The highlight of this guy is for sure those face prints, but the rest of the figure does work really well too. Next we have the version of Spider Queen who's running her fabric shop. Not sure exactly what tool this is supposed to be, but I assume it's to work with the fabric. And then of course we have little scissors as well. Her hairpiece is from LEGO Friends, so it's cool to get that in another theme. Nothing too crazy going on there, but it does look good on her. However, once again, all new face print on her, where she's just a lot less evil than her previous variations. This one she just seems like a little confused or annoyed, and then on the alternate side she's got this very happy smile. This back torso print's amazing, like look how nice that looks. I was always a huge fan of the Spider Queen's army and their color scheme, and this just harkens back to that perfectly. The silver, the black, the green, and the purple all just tie together so nicely. It's like the perfect villain color scheme, and I'm so glad to see it here. Just green, black, and purple in general look really nice, but the silver really ties it all together. It's like sparkly and illuminates. I love it so much. Front of her torso obviously not as interesting because she's got like an undershirt on there, but even still this definitely isn't bad. You still have all those colors incorporated here, and then unfortunately there is is no leg printing on her. Really, really cool minifigure all around, just a great one to have in my collection. I absolutely love it. And then on the end here, we have Lady Bone Demon, who the first time I saw her really threw me for a loop because that is Harumi from Ninjago's hairpiece. I was never expecting to see that for a character who wasn't Harumi, but you know what? It fits Lady Bone Demon really well. And then we have a very different expression going on for her, because now she's just smiling and winking, which is just such a funny new variant. But on the alternate side, she is still a little bit evil. So we have this very angry expression here where her eyes have turned red and she's like screaming. And I am really glad they kept that here, even if the context of this said she's not meant to be evil. Torso design's really cool too, because of course she's Lady Bone Demon, she's meant to be skeletal. So you can see that her waist is really tiny, and you can see her rib cage on the front right there, and like her spine around the back. It's really showing that there is like no meat in there. She is entirely just bones. You can see a little bit of her original design underneath the torso too, like the torso on her original minifigure. So it's showing that that is still all underneath everything. It's just not super obvious anymore. I know I'm saying this about a lot of the minifigures in this video, but no, genuinely, I really love this one too. They just did such a good job with it. All three of these are fantastic, but these two especially really stand out to me. Next, we have Macaque as well as the Gold and Silver Horn Demons. And as I said, Macaque is a graffiti artist, and they really leaned into that here. Fantastic design for that torso. Like, you could just take that monkey head off and turn this into any minifigure you want. He's got like this vest over top of a jacket, there's a spray paint can right there, but of course he does still have his original symbol around the back. The hidden side hood piece looks amazing here too, and I believe this is an all new like color combination for it. And there's no printing on the hat, which I don't think we've ever seen with this piece before. The face print he's got going on is very cute too. It's just like a slight smirk. Nothing too crazy with that expression, but I feel like it fits him really well. But on the alternate side, he's got like his more classic, angrier smile, and it seems like some of his power is even emanating out of one of his eyes. In terms of accessories, he just comes with a little bag as well as this like giant paint roller. It definitely fits him really well. I think this is probably the minifigure with the best parts for custom. While it works really well as Macaque, you can also just use these pieces for your own custom minifigures like in a LEGO City. Graffiti Artist just really fits his personality too. They did a great job with this one. And then these two are so funny, because obviously they run the record store, we already saw that. But the design of these characters is also meant to sort of be DJs, so it seems like the designs were very much inspired by Daft Punk, which is such a funny concept for these two, but I think they executed it so well. Now in terms of the actual minifigures, they are very similar. It's the same torso print, same leg piece, same armor piece, and actually the same face print, as we'll see in a moment. The only differences are the color of the helmets and the horns, and then their accessories. Because yes, their accessories are two calabashes, they still come with those even though they're not technically evil in this set, which that's a really nice callback to see. And around the back you can see they've got like this all new logo. It's like their original hairpiece but split half blue, half gold, but it's got like a little sound monitor in the center. Their ties around the front again are split that orange and the gold, and they've got these little screens over their faces. Now unfortunately, if you want to display them without the screens over their faces, you can't really do that, at least in this set. Because if I turn these guys around, you can see their alternate faces are just each other's faces. I'm sure this was just a budgeting thing, it was cheaper to make two of the same face instead of two different faces, but it would have been nice if these were two entirely separate faces so we could have got two expressions for each of them. These helmet pieces are really cool though, I believe they originate from LEGO City, and just the ability to attach the horns out the back is really neat. So yeah, even though they're not like the most unique from each other, I still think it fits these characters really well. Some of my favorite characters from the show ever, so I'm glad to see that they came in another set. Some leg printing here could have been nice, maybe more sparkles continuing down, but I guess it's not the biggest deal. And oh, also look at that, the sparkles are both gold and silver too. That's a really fun touch. Yeah, I mean, I like them. They definitely could have been more, but I feel like what we get here is plenty. And finally, here are the final three full minifigures in this set. There are a few more things to look at in a moment, but these are the last three like full actual minifigures. We have Nuwa, as I mentioned, Lee, who's just one of the generic Speedy Pandas workers, however, he's come in plenty of sets before. And then this character I don't believe has an actual name, but you can see she has the same exact torso and leg print as Mei, and that's because these are both supposed to be Tai Chi outfits, so this is just another person to practice Tai Chi with Mei. Nuwa, though, is not the most interesting minifigure, however, I think that's kind of the point. She just has like a sort of generic fashionable suit with an unprinted dress piece. I would have preferred a printing on the dress or even printed legs, but I feel like that works fine. Her hairpiece, I'm not sure if I recognize. It looks familiar, but I'm not sure if it's new or not. It does have accessory holes, so maybe it's from LEGO Friends. What's throwing me off though is this is a hard plastic, not a soft plastic. So maybe this is a LEGO Friends hairpiece they updated to be hard plastic? I don't know. Or maybe possibly it's new for this year. You guys will have to let me know in the comments if you recognize it. But anyway, it is a really good hairpiece to say the least. And if we take that piece off, there you can see her full face print. And this side of the face is really cool. She's got like this jade crown on, and there's like this green energy emanating from her eyes a little bit. But on the alternate side of her face, it's a more neutral expression, not as much going on. Definitely still a good one, don't get me wrong, but it doesn't do as much to imply her role in this upcoming season. Then Lee has this giant delivery backpack on, which is very fun. There's a sticker on the side of the box to show that it's fragile, and if we open it up, you can see there's just some classic LEGO cherries inside. He also carries a ball in one hand, and he's got a phone in the other, and if we take that back attachment off, the rest of the figure's nothing all too interesting. The hairpiece is one of the ones introduced in the BTS set, so it's good to get that in more sets, but I believe this face print's been used before for Lee in the past. Anyway, he's just got like this generic striped shirt. Good looking standard civilian, but just not super interesting. Longtime Monkey Kid fans will appreciate getting a new version of Lee, but obviously he's not like a main character or anything. So even just a new hairpiece is more than I could have asked for a character like this. And then yeah, the older lady on the end is just the exact same torso and legs as May, so I don't really have anything more to add there. Her face print and hairpiece are just from LEGO City as well. I mean, it's a good face print, don't get me wrong, but it is just generic civilian. I don't really have anything to add about her. And then here are the final two bits of this set. They're not technically minifigures, but they're kind of characters, I don't know. We've got this screen with the Infomaniac on it, and then we have the Speedy Panda's delivery drone. The Infomaniac's been referenced in previous Monkey Kid sets before. It's of course a reference back to LEGO's history, but I believe the character is like a double reference. It's both the Infomaniac from LEGO Island, but it's also a character from Journey to the West, though I forget exactly which character that is. I believe it's someone who's meant to like give advice to Monkey King, so they've kind of reimagined him here as the Infomaniac, and now he's on like this little cart so he can roll around. That's a very cute inclusion, I like it. And then the Speedy Panda's delivery drone, I mean yeah, you can see it's a box with a panda face on it, little propeller at the top. It does come with a little stand, which is nice to see, and if we open the box up, inside there's a single egg piece. That's about all I have to say on these two, but it is nice to have them as just like bonuses in this set. And so, overall, what are my thoughts on this set? I don't think it's gonna surprise anyone when I say I like this set a lot. It truly does feel like a celebration of Monkey Kid's history, and there's really not much it does wrong. It's a good price too, now don't get me wrong, it is an expensive price. However, at the price they're charging, they do give you a lot here. So many minifigures, so many different like little things to play with, so many different callbacks to Monkey Kid's history. This really feels like it's the all-in-one Monkey Kid set. Because you get villains from all throughout the series, every single one of the heroes, as well as this huge city where you can just tell your own stories. In terms of criticisms of the set, honestly, I don't have many. Like, anything I would say would be very minor. Like I said, I feel like the space elevator maybe feels a little bit out of place. And again, that's not me saying it's a bad build. I do really like the build. I just feel like it kind of clashes with the aesthetic of the city a little bit. That being said, it's still a very fun play feature that fits in really well, and it is a very cool build in its own right. And then yeah, some of the minifigures maybe could have had leg printing, but you know what? We got so many minifigures here. I honestly don't mind no leg printing when we get so many different characters. So yeah, I'm honestly looking for like critiques I could give so I could be fair and balanced, but no, genuinely this set's amazing. Obviously not for everybody at the price it's at, but if you're a huge fan of Monkey Kid who's been collecting the theme, this is a set you definitely don't want to miss out on. Or if you're completely new to Monkey Kid but you like the show, this is kind of the best all-in-one set to get. Like if you're only going to get one set and you don't mind spending a little bit of money, this is probably a good set to pick up to be your one and only. So if this set's within your price range and it's something you're interested in, honestly I would recommend it. But of course, those are just my thoughts. Let me know what you guys think of this set in the comments below. As I mentioned earlier, if you want to see a video of me combining this with the other Monkey Kid City sets, let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like on it, subscribe to my channel if you're new, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye!